If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate.
Picture a moment so raw, so unexpected, it stops one of America's loudest talk shows dead in its tracks. Has The View finally been outplayed? A single guest, a young, fearless conservative, walked onto that stage and didn't just challenge the hosts. She shook the show's very foundation. This wasn't a debate. It was a reckoning, and the fallout is still rippling across the internet. Buckle up, because you're about to hear the full story of a clash that's got everyone talking. In early May 2025, Caroline Leavitt, a 27-year-old political prodigy, stepped into the pressure cooker of The View. If you haven't heard of her, here's the rundown. Leavitt's a New Hampshire native who graduated from St. Anselm College, worked as a reporter, ran for Congress at just 25, and became the youngest press secretary in history for Donald Trump's campaign. She's faced hostile press rooms and skeptical reporters, always with unshakable poise. But The View? That's a different beast. The show's hosts, Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, and their crew, thrive on controversy, wielding their platform like a weapon. Leavitt knew she was walking into a setup, but she wasn't there to play defense. She came to rewrite the rules. The tension kicked off the second Leavitt sat down. Whoopi, with her trademark smirk, barely let Leavitt get a word in before rolling her eyes, a move fans and critics alike know signals she's ready to dominate. Joy Behar, never one to miss a chance. Not missing a beat, tossed out a biting remark about Leavitt's ties to Trump, implying she was just a pretty face riding his coattails. The audience chuckled, but Leavitt didn't blink. She leaned forward, her voice calm but razor-sharp, and called out the hosts for pushing a narrative that divides Americans. She accused the media, including The View, of fueling hate by labeling half the country as extremists. The crowd murmured, sensing a shift. This wasn't the usual back and forth. Something explosive was brewing. Then came the moment that flipped the script. Leavitt locked eyes with the panel and delivered a line that hit like a thunderbolt. "You preach about lifting women up," she said. "But when a conservative woman succeeds, you tear her down, saying it's just her looks. Is that your empowerment?" The studio froze. No applause, no snappy retorts, just deafening silence. Even Joy Behar, who's built a career on quick comebacks, sat back, her mouth slightly open. Leavitt pressed on, turning her focus to Whoopi. She accused her of using wokeness not to promote equality, but to silence anyone who disagrees. It wasn't a shout or a rant. It was a surgical strike, delivered with such precision that the hosts looked rattled. The audience gasped, and the air in the room felt electric. But this was just the start of the chaos. Within hours, the internet was ablaze. Clips of Leavitt's takedown flooded X, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, racking up millions of views. Hashtags like #Whoopi exposed, #Caroline unleashed, and #The View owned trended as viewers split into camps. Conservatives hailed Leavitt as a hero, praising her for calling out what they see as the show's hypocrisy. Liberal fans rushed to Whoopi's defense, arguing she was ambushed by a well-rehearsed attack. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds, with debates raging over who won the exchange. One X post summed it up. Caroline didn't just debate, she dismantled The View's entire shtick in under 5 minutes. The viral storm showed no signs of slowing, but behind the scenes, things were getting messy. ABC, the network behind The View, reportedly went into crisis mode. Whispers from industry insiders painted a picture of panic. Executives holding emergency meetings, sponsors questioning their ties to the show, and phone lines jammed with complaints. The tipping point came when Whoopi Goldberg didn't show up for the next episode. No heads up, no clear reason, just a cryptic statement from ABC saying she was taking time to reflect. Social media exploded with theories. Was she suspended, quitting, or just laying low? Posts on X claimed ABC was considering major changes to the show, though the network stayed tight-lipped. The absence felt like a crack in the View's untouchable image, and viewers weren't letting it slide. This wasn't the View's first rodeo with controversy. Over its 28-year run, the show has weathered storms, like Rosie O'Donnell's messy exit in 2007 or Joy Behar's 2017 comments that sparked sponsor boycotts. But this time feels heavier. Critics argue the show's formula, left-leaning hosts, sparring with occasional conservative guests, has grown stale. Ex-posts from 2024 and early 2025 show fans complaining the hosts seem out of touch, preaching to a shrinking choir while alienating wider audiences. Leavitt's appearance tapped into that frustration, amplifying calls for balance or even cancellation. In 2024, ABC touted strong ratings, but recent rumors suggest viewership is slipping, with advertisers getting nervous. Could this be the scandal that tips the scales? Beyond the drama, Levitt's clash sparked a bigger conversation. Her critique of wokeness as a tool for control struck a chord with many, but it also drew backlash from those who see it as a defense of marginalized voices. The debate spilled into podcasts, blogs, and even late-night shows, with comedians like Bill Maher weighing in on The View's polarizing vibe. Some argue the show's strength is its unapologetic stance, a rare space for women to speak freely. Others say it's become a caricature, more about clicks than substance. Levitt, meanwhile, kept the pressure on. Days after the episode, she appeared at a press conference, doubling down on her media critique and tossing in a jab about Biden napping instead of leading. The quip went viral, adding fuel to the fire. So, what's next for The View? The show's at a crossroads. Option 1. Shake things up. Bring in new hosts with diverse views, maybe even a conservative who can hold their own. Option 2. Stay the course, betting on loyal fans to weather the storm. But that's risky. Social media sentiment leans harsh, with longtime viewers saying, "They're done after this." Posts on X even floated names like Megyn Kelly or Candace Owens as potential replacements, though that's pure speculation. ABC's silence isn't helping. Every day without a clear plan feeds the rumor mill. One thing's certain, Levitt's takedown didn't just make waves, it exposed fault lines that could reshape the show's future. Let's talk about the fans. Viewer reactions have been a roller coaster. Some are Team Caroline, calling her a breath of fresh air who exposed The View's bubble. Others stand by Whoopi, arguing she's a legend who doesn't deserve the heat. A poll on X showed 62% thought Levitt won the exchange, but the comments were split, with insults flying both ways. One viewer wrote, "Caroline said what millions think but never say. The View's done if they don't adapt." Another countered, "Whoopi's been through worse. This is just noise." The divide mirrors the country's broader split, making this more than just a TV spat, it's a cultural flashpoint. So, here's the big question. Did Caroline Leavitt just deliver The View's knockout punch, or is this another chapter in its long, messy saga? Can the show reinvent itself, or is it time to pull the plug? And what about Whoopi? Has her reign ended, or will she bounce back fiercer than ever? This story's far from over, and the next move could change everything. Drop your take in the comments. Are you Team Caroline, Team Whoopi, or just here for the chaos? Let's keep this fire burning.